We got this from the New York Post. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get paid. Trump reveals when moderate income Americans can expect to get $2,000 tariff dividend checks. And I say, bravo, it's the right move. The estimate based on the total tariffs that have come in is that Trump will be able to give around 100 million people a check for $2,000. I am for this. This is beautiful. Trump vowed to issue tariff dividends sometimes before the 26 midterms during an Oval Office event. We're going to be issuing dividends later on, somewhere prior to the middle of next year. A little bit later than that, he said, noting it would include thousands of dollars for individuals of moderate income. Bessent said the payments could come in lots of forms, including just the tax decreases that we are seeing following cuts made in the big, beautiful bill. So maybe you actually don't get a check. You just pay less in taxes. You get a better refund. I am for this. I got a video I put up on my Tim Pool channel, youtube.com/@TimPool. Check it out. Where there's this debate it's Luke Beasley versus 20 boomer Trump supporters. And the first argument is about MAGAnomics, which is just a buzzword that means nothing. You mean the tariffs? And of course, Luke Beasley, who won't come back on the Culture War 4 debate, he's refused because he knows he'll get roasted, engages in sophistry or just lies. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe he's dumb. The tariffs are brilliant. I'm a huge fan. We're not going to see the job repercussions just yet. It's going to take some time to rebuild our manufacturing base. But for now, it is good, in my opinion, that we are telling American companies, it's going to cost you more money to hire a Chinese or Indonesian laborer than an American worker to bring these jobs back. I will stress this, though, because we can split the story in two. While Donald Trump is in favor of that, and I like it, he's also a big AI guy, which of course is going to, you can't coexist in this space. AI is another industrial revolution that is going to wipe out a massive amount of jobs. Plus you've got the Optimus robot, Elon Musk talking about how the Optimus robot is going to be doing surgery better than a doctor. So your high skill jobs are going to be wiped out by robots and computers. I don't know how these ideologies actually work alongside each other.
They don't. This is
all right, we're cooked.
This is a short-term benefit. Now, this is good. The people are suffering, and people could use anything they can get. And I'm pro-tariff, but it can't coexist in a pro-data center dystopia where you're sacrificing farmland for all the data centers. And it's not like they're going to bring in jobs, because even the largest data center in the world only has like 100 employees, 125 employees. So and that's the largest one. Most of them only have 20, 25.
And they have replaced. This is one of the stories that we were talking about the other day. There's an old aluminum refinery.
Right.
Probably had hundreds of thousand jobs plus, something like that.
A lot. Yeah.
And now you get a data center with arguably maybe 100 jobs, because you only really need a dozen or so.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of these data centers. We are watching, and this is what people need to be careful of, because I'm a fan when I hear the stuff about these tariffs, these dividends. People who want to buy products from Temu, fine. But that money is going to get sent back across to the American people. And Trump was talking about using that to help them pay for healthcare. And I'm like, let's go. If you want to buy from China, feel free to. And that's how that money you spend, that's going to pay for healthcare. Okay, fine. Not a perfect solution, but in this digital world where services can be done internationally and products can be easily shipped, we need some kind of protectionism, in my opinion. That being said, this country is turning into a giant field of black cubes with fake houses around them and no jobs. And I wonder if all of these arguments about we got to turn the population crisis around from politicians, I wonder if they're just lying because it's a pressure release valve. Trump is was it Stargate? Or no, it wasn't Stargate. It was
Project Stargate, yeah.
It was Stargate was like the big AI project.
$500 billion, yeah.
Trump is very much for this. I get it. We don't want China to do it. But the end result is the argument just saying we have no choice. Humanity is reaching its the back end of that bell curve. We're going down.
Right. I mean, the argument people will say is, well, we got to beat China. But it's like, so we destroy ourselves like China's destroying themselves. And they'll say, well, it's a beautiful city. But I'm like, okay, well, it's a city built on the social credit system through the AI. So it's like, it's really no win. It's like gain of function. Once they start it, there's no putting it back in the bottle.
Yeah, and China's just like what they made like 13 grand is like the GDP per capita. They just strap RGB lights to a building and they're like, whoa.
That's the way that they at least advertise is
Well-
look at all the lights and so that means that we're an advanced society. And it's
Well,
not.
they did a dragon drone. Whoa! And
But-
then meanwhile, it's like half the country's like really struggling to make ends meet.
Sure, but I have heard good things from Hassan Piker.
Yeah, he just cried when he got Mao's red book.
I mean, the shock
Are,
collar.
are you for real?
There's a video of
yeah.
him getting the red book. Like,
It
dude,
was one of the
he's
original,
insane.
it was one of the original copies that was in English, and they're very rare. And so he was very excited. That's like, oh man, someone gave me a copy of Mein Kampf. Thank you so much.
It still
I
had
gotta,
blood
I gotta
on
be
it from
honest.
the
Did it
decapitation.
really?
No.
Oh, I was like, wow.
But sure.
I would love to own a copy of a Little Red Book.
No, it'd be great. I'm not going to cry out of the tears
sure.
of joy. Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of these of artifacts and preserving history so that we're not doomed to repeat it.
100%.
The lesson that I would give to people from Here's the Red Book is here is the evil.
Yeah,
and
this killed
Hassan's
lots
going to
of
be
people.
like, we can try again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And do you know how expensive it is to make a shock collar in the United States? It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, he'd never buy one of those. Yeah, just that poor dog.
Is the guest allowed to disagree with Tim on this one?
No, never. Oh, yeah, by all means, tell me why I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with the tariffs. I like the tariffs. It's bringing in revenue. I just don't think we should be sending it back to the American people. I think we should be taking a look at this, huge deficit that we have. And unfortunately, the American people are pretty ignorant on basic economics, which is if we continue to print money, that's why grocery prices are so high. That's why home prices. I don't know about you guys. I live in Austin. Between 2020 and 2024, the value of my home went up by 100%. Why?
Everyone moved
Because everybody moved there. There's a ton of money being flooded into the economy. We just printed trillions and trillions of dollars. Our debt now is half of our budget. It's bigger than the military budget. I mean, I think we should put all this money. We should reduce deficits. We are toast if we can't get these deficits down.
I agree.
We are
but-
absolutely done if these deficits don't get reduced. I say put every dollar of this back to reducing the deficit.
I disagree there, but I agree on the deficit issue in general, and that's got to come from real spending cuts. The problem is everyone's addicted, and nobody wants to actually be the one to say stop spending on the credit card.
Agreed.
But let me say this about the tariffs. The reason why Trump is offering these dividends is because the American public does not understand long-term planning.
No.
The individual is in the immediate saying, I need to feed my family. What do tariffs mean? Democrats are weaponizing this, like I mentioned that Luke Beasley guy lying, where he says the economy is bad and tariffs are at fault. I'm like, you just made that up. Give me the correlation. Give me the causation. We need these tariffs because it is impossible for an American manufacturer to compete with Chinese peasant
100%
labor.
agree with you.
So the point of the tariffs is to say, if you make the product over there, it'll be more expensive than a product made here. How do you then convince a regular old American default labor who's not paying attention to these issues to say, trust us in the long term, you will succeed? You can't. So what does Trump say? The tariff money is going to go to you in your pocket to cover your short-term expenses. And now you're going to see the normies go, okay, I'm good on these tariffs. What's that going to do? Step one, bring back manufacturing. Now, the argument Trump has made on why this is beneficial is we're going to be under-leveraged. If we can generate more economic activity internally, we can start generating more revenue, tax revenue, just through volume alone and use that to pay down the deficit. I will concede, however, Trump ain't doing that unless he gets the spending way down because
Elon tried that, and the guy got kicked out.
The debt needs to be paid down and the deficit needs to be reduced.
Yes.
So does anyone have any opinion on whether the $2,000 dividend is a response to the refusal by the Fed to lower interest rates? Is this an effort
think
to stimulate spending?
I think it's in response to the Supreme Court potentially striking down Trump's authority on the tariffs, which would be catastrophic for this country. I believe Trump is 100% correct on this issue. And the Supreme Court may say Trump has no authority to do this. I think Trump's play here is we need the American people to demand it. We want the Supreme Court is a wholly political body. These people, save Thomas and Alito, are cowards. And if the American people are demanding it, Supreme Court's going to say, fine. I mean, look at the issue of gay marriage. They refused to even listen to that case, despite the fact on the merits, whatever you think about gay marriage, that was an insane ruling that they made back in, was it 2015 or 14?
Something like that.
They won't even listen to it. They won't even listen to Texas v. Pennsylvania, which is their duty under the Constitution in original jurisdiction. They are cowards. Sorry, Thomas and Alito are based, but the rest of them are too scared. I get it. Someone tried to kill Kavanaugh. I get it. But the issue here is Trump is basically saying, I want the American people to scream out, we want tariffs.
Yeah.
And so that's how you do it.
Well, and Trump's trying to conduct like long-term policy in a democracy, which is just like pretty much impossible to do. I mean, you look at like China, Iran, Russia, for what it's worth, like they're able to plan in terms of decades because they're not accountable to voters. But the United States, you have to think in terms of like if you're in the House 2 years, if you're a senator 6 years, president 4 years. It's like it's impossible to really conduct any long-term planning.
Now you understand Hassan.
Yeah.
I
Now I understand Trump Caesar. It could be, you know, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
I think this is all about midterms. I mean, I think this is about midterms next year. We're coming off the government shutdown. You can argue whether the Democrats or the Republicans looked worse on that. The whole issue in the midterms is going to be the Republicans don't want to give us our free health care. Trump wants to offset that by saying, yes, you didn't get your free health care, but we're going to give you $2,000. I think it's a political move specifically around the midterm. We just read when are these things going to happen? Mid-2026. When is the midterms going to happen? End of 2026. I think this is a post-shutdown political game by Trump to get people more money. And I think these things always end up bad. The government giving the people more money is just a buying of votes from my perspective.
Look, anytime you do cash injections, you end up exacerbating the gap between poor and rich.
Inflation.
Because poor people have to spend their money, right? They're gonna if you give someone if he does the $2,000 dividend. People aren't going to invest that or sit on it. They're going to spend it on their needs. And that money is inevitably going to go to people that have property, that own things. That money is going to go to the people that own businesses, to the people that already have things. So anytime you do cash injections,
that's where all the money from the 2020 and 2021 and all those things went. Where did it go?
Yeah.
It went to all the rich people. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer, and the poor are the ones who are now paying $9 for a pound of ground beef as opposed to $5 or $6.
Yes,
if I'm making $300,000 a year, I don't give a shit if I'm paying $9 for a pound of ground beef.
That's all.
But the guy who's making $20,000 does.
That's all
right?
true, but the point that I'm making is, and it's something that we've talked about on the show in the past, right? Right now, people are looking at the income inequality in the United States, and that's driving them away from reasonable politics. That's driving them to socialism. And so if you continue to pump money into the economy and 100%. Create a larger gap between the wealthy and the poor, you're only going to make the poor people, there are far more poor people than there are rich people, you're only going to make them more angry, and they're going to say, well, then this isn't working. We need some kind of new system for our...
And I will stress this too. If this continues long term, just giving $2,000 dividend checks to poor people, you're going to create wildlife dependency syndrome.
Well, I think we already
do not feed the bears; they'll become dependent.
Well, I think we already have. That's like the problem is the Democrats have built out this massive patronage network, and that's how they're able to get fantastic election results in cities. And so I think that's all Trump's trying to do here is trying to create a patronage network for Americans. Like it's a very radical idea, but that's clearly what he's setting up here.
Why can I just campaign on that? Can I run for office and just be like, vote for me, and I will tax rich people to give money straight up check. We're going to tax them. There's not enough of them to vote against me, so you vote against them, I'll give you their money. Straight up. No bickering, no innuendo. I will outright just take from them.
But that's where the frustration is coming from, because if you looked at the discourse around the SNAP benefits ending, that's getting to the heart of where the real anger is that it's the productive Americans versus the unproductive Americans. So that's all that's happening here is there's been this massive patronage network the Democrats have set up for unproductive Americans. I think Trump is just trying to get the boot off of the neck of working people.
Totally. And you mentioned buying votes. That's what's been happening. They've been buying these votes for 80 years? They've been doing it for a long time. And it's we're doing it by taking money from corporations that are trying to do business in this country, which is probably it's a lot better than printing more of our own money. It's real value.
100% agree with that. I have no issue with the tariffs. What I'm saying is don't take the tariffs and then give it to the people, but take the tariffs and do it to reduce the deficit so we can stop printing money. We can slow this inflation down. Inflation's at 3%?
Totally.
It's clearly more than 3%. I mean, there's no way in hell it's 3%. The way that they calculate CPI is a total disaster.
Joke.
It's a total joke.
Glad you know that.
And so, it's not 3%, and the poor people are the ones that are getting hurt most. So what I'm saying is let's reduce the deficit. Let's get it down as far as we can. Stop printing all this money. Get inflation under control. Okay. And I'm a fan of the tariffs. Let's use that as a tool to do
you
that.
Agree with where it's going.
I just disagree with where it's going. Totally I wish they would have let Elon and them go after it. Elon basically came out and said, "There's no freaking way. We're going to reduce to reduce spending. And so I think we're toast on the deficit unless we can do something like this to offset it.
Well, I think the problem too is like there's not much of an appetite among even Republicans now for reducing the deficit, because that was what motivated like the Tea Party. I mean, this is
you don't get votes by reducing the deficit.
Yeah, but it's been
boring.
It's been the Republican
Correct.
platform for 60 years. Is like, oh, we're going to reduce the deficit, and then it continues to go up. So I think the American people are saying it's not going anywhere. I might as well like raid the Treasury on the way out, and at least again build that system to reward Americans in some way. Like I think people just don't really believe the Republicans anymore on when it comes to like we're going to reduce the deficit.
And they shouldn't.
And we're economically ignorant as a society. We don't understand the fact that we have huge deficits. Everybody's looking at me. What do I get, right? And you're gonna buy votes. It's gonna continue to happen, Republicans and Democrats.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.